Hello, world. My name is Tammy J.S. A friend of mine said that her daughter was driving going to work, and this strange creature, she could see it as it was crossing, and as she stopped, she started to slow down and to cross. She said because she couldn't really identify what it was. The sun had started to set, and it started to get kind of dark, but this thing was moving at a fast pace, and it was pretty big. She said, so as it was coming across, she was like, what the fuck is this? She got her phone, and she stuck her hand outside her left side window, on the driver window, and as it was crossing, she took a picture of it. And she said it looked toward her, and she said she dug down, and she was like, oh, Lord, please don't let this thing come this way. And she said, and as it paused and looked, then it continued to walk, but it walked to this little bridge, like a little overpass area, and she said the head was almost touching the overpass, and she said, and it turned back around. By that time, she said she took another picture of it. And I was like, what? And so she actually got on Facebook and on social media, and she said, I don't know what the government is doing out here, but this motherfucker that crossed my front like a human. And so I was like, man, send me a picture of it. Where it's at? I said, yeah, because I've had some crazy experiences in my life. I have really serious, deep dreams a lot. But I won't get into my dreams. But she sent me a picture, and she sent me two pictures. And so it's kind of, it was dark, and it's funny. It's ironic because I sent it to a couple of people, and it seemed like the more I sent it to people, the dimmer it gets. So I don't want it to fade away. So if someone can enhance it, it'd be great, because I would love to see the real image of this thing. But yeah, that's what happened. Get away from here.
Okay, sister. So I gotta ask you. You know what I'm saying? You being a woman that can just give good judgment of people and of objects. You've been looking at objects your whole life.
Right.
Can you identify this to be anything other than something that you guys have never seen?
I can't identify with anything. So, yes, it's something I have never seen in my life. And my thing is, if she's seen it, how many other people have seen it, you know? And she said, like, it was in the Valley area. I know that you'll be able to get in contact with her because I reached out to her mom, and her mom was saying she's going to speak to her, but there's other ways we can get in contact with her. But I would love to hear her thoughts on it and know the exact location, you know, because I lived in Arizona, and I had a situation that occurred when I moved in Arizona. This was I was born here and raised in L.A., and then I moved back to Arizona. But I lived in Arizona, and while I was at home, so I ended up collapsing. I fell out, and so when I came to, when I collapsed, it was daytime. When I came to, it was night. And so I got my cell phone and I called 911. And I'm from LA, shit, so it takes a while for the ambulance and all that shit to come. But ambulance were at my place, and it was so dark where I lived, where I had to tell them where to stop by the sound of their sirens. So when they got in front of my place, I said, I hear you. I said, turn. It was only one way you can turn. You either turn onto the property or you turn into the ditch. So they turned into the property, and I said, okay, you're getting closer. So they said, is this the house? Where do you hear me? And I said, I'm on your left or whatever. So they get to my property. I was able to make it to the bed. So when they get to me, my blood pressure and I guess my vitals and stuff are so high. And so they started asking me, have you taken any medication or anything like that? And I said, no. I said, I'm a medical marijuana patient. And so they end up saying we don't have the facility for her out here. They need a helicopter. Now, I ain't never been in a helicopter in my life. So I'm like, whoa, I must be very important. They must figure I have some money. What's going on?
They took you
But
in the
they
helicopter,
land the helicopter on my property.
What?
Huh?
A helicopter.
A helicopter on my property. They rolled my ass out. I don't know if my neighbors was around, but I knew if I was in LA, it would have been a crowd.
Where did they take you? Where did they take you to? Area 51. Where did you go?
No, I was aware the whole time. Lord God, I was. But they transported me to Phoenix to a hospital. And when I remember getting off the plane,
Mm-hmm.
but when I woke up, I was chained to the bed.
Mm.
And so it was weird. I'm like, hey, I needed to use the restroom. And they said, okay, we didn't want you to get up without us talking to you. We don't want you because you fell out, and they were saying all these things. And they said, and we can't get your blood pressure under control. And so they said, so we didn't want you to get up and start to move and fall out again. So they undid the handcuff type of thing, or the whatever the things were. They weren't handcuffs, but it was like bandages that was wrapped, to where I couldn't move too far.
Right.
So when they released that, they still had this thing on the bed, but once I got off the bed, and the alarm would come off. But it was funny because I was in a section, and there was like 5 other people that said that they had fell out, and that they were flown there. And they kept me there for like 5-6 days, and I'm like, what is going on? Because they could not get my blood pressure down. And my sister came in town from Los Angeles, and relatives came up to the hospital, and I was telling them, how can I leave? And they said, well, the doctor won't release you. And I said, can I just release myself? And they said, well, we don't advise that. Man, I checked myself out of that hospital. But that same evening when I checked myself out of the hospital, because they never could find a solution. I'm like, I'm not going to lay up here and be a guinea pig, Shit, I'm going in and out, sleeping and waking up. I don't know what you've done,
Yeah.
But the lady next to me, she said she was in her garden and she fell out. But she was, and it was like all of a sudden. So on our way back home, I'm driving, my sister is in the car. And as we get on the 8th, and as we're driving and we're going north on the 8th, well, let me see. Yeah, going north on the 8th. No. We're going east on the 8th. The light started to beam on us, and it seemed like a large person had a flashlight on top of us, and that the flashlight was getting, like, we were being followed by a large flashlight. This is how this light looked. And it was getting brighter and brighter, and me and my sister's in the car, and I know I just checked out of this hospital, and I've been there for like a week, and I'm like, Lord, what's going on? Is this my time? So as it seemed like the light got brighter and brighter, and then all of a sudden, my sister, she said, oh shit. When I look at her, I said, shit, you gotta quit calling on the saying shit. You gotta start praying. But we hit right into this, seemed like it was a tunnel. And as we entered into this thing, this shit was black all around us, but you can see like a reflection of a light coming in on us. And I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. It was weird, but it was only for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden we came out of it. But it was like, while we were in it, it was wind blowing. It was like you had shells on your ear, and you were listening to the sound in the shell, It's like, you can hear all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden we came out of it and everything got clear and our ears opened up. And my sister said, what the fuck was that? I'm like, I don't know. It could have been a disaster, but thank God, I'm blessed. But, yeah. And I've had several weird things happen to me over the time frame of my life. So for me to get the picture of that thing, and then for me to be talking to you, it's like, what is the purpose of this? I want to know the outcome, you know?
Tammy, I definitely appreciate you giving us, you know what I'm saying, this movie. I like to call this a movie right here. Something else that we can watch instead of watching the Corona movie. You know what I mean? It's Caliente Breeze. For those who don't know, the DNA alien. Yeah, we here.
Oh, yes, everybody. This is where you need to tune in. Get Loaded TV, get fucked up, just get loaded, all right?
Just like
See
that.
ya.
Come on now.